This weekend we've come about 160 kilometers to the west of Kumagaya, so we're up in the mountains. And I think this might be like a section of the Japanese Alps, I'm not sure. But it's kind of in that direction at the very least. And we're at this park, and our friends Emma and Tommy, we're with them, and Tommy works for a company in Tokyo who is the Japanese distributor for tents and like down jackets, like really expensive down jackets and stuff. And what we're at is a music festival. And this is one of the stages. This is like the little stage, and then off down here that you can't see it, but there's another larger stage. And this is an all-night music festival that's going to take place. And they are a sponsor, so they get to set up tents, and like, you know, people walk around and they can show them the tents, and maybe they buy a tent, I guess, I don't know. So what we've been doing all morning is setting up tents. But interestingly enough, we got here last night. We left Kumagaya late. Oh, gosh, I can't even remember now, like 11:30 or something. And we drove 3 hours or whatever it took, because like it's a windy road up these mountains and stuff. And then we got here, and then we had to figure out, like we camped here in one of the tents, and not here, but like in the woods, like back over here. And the tent looks like this that we camped in. It's like a giant teepee, but there's no. This is an example. This isn't the same tent, but there's no floor, because you can see it's just the grass. And we got completely mauled by bugs all night, and it was really awful. And I have no idea why somebody would buy a tent without a floor. It makes no sense. But okay. And some of the other tents, they do have floors though. Like this one here has a floor. So anyways, so we got to bed about 3 a.m. and then it got really, really hot. And we ended up awake at 7. But I mean, I only slept in like 10-minute chunks because I was covered in like these huge ants. And like, you just constantly have them on your arm, and they didn't really hurt or anything. It was just like, you know, there's a bug on you, you can't sleep. So I'm really, really tired right now. And so we've been setting up these tents. And then about 1 o'clock, like customers or people that bought tickets, and the tickets are expensive. They're like $200 a piece. So the people that bought tickets are gonna start showing up. And then at 4 o'clock, the music starts. And then the music keeps going literally until 9 a.m. Like it's an overnight thing. So, and they told us that we can sleep here, but like there's a stage right there, and then a tent that we can sleep in is right here. So I'm not sure if we're gonna get to sleep tonight or not. And there's no places to eat, but we've got, Tommy's company has given him a bunch of money to just buy us food. So we've been pretty liberal with buying food, and we have all this barbecue food and stuff, so we're definitely looking forward to that. And I don't know, the whole thing is really strange. We really had literally no idea, Katie and I had no idea what was gonna happen today. They were just like, you wanna go camping? And we were like, okay. Our tent village is almost finished. So you can see we've got 1 teepee, 2 teepees, 3 teepees, and 2 tents. And they're hanging up some clothes, because apparently not only do they distribute teepees, but they distribute these down jackets. And the Japanese fellow, Sato, I believe his name is, who's with us, he doesn't, or he's a designer for these jackets. And they weigh like nothing. It's very, very light, but I put one on and it's pretty like warm, like instantaneously warm. So it's an interesting fabric. This is the line of people that are waiting to come into this festival thing. And it goes down, and they're going inside of this tent down here that is actually a tent that's owned by Tommy's company. And yeah, this is really strange. We're about to go take a shower because it's been a while. So because of my snazzy pass here, I got to come into this really ritzy, like, well, not really ritzy, but fairly nice hotel. And they have an onsen, and it was a really nice onsen. I got to bathe, got to get in the onsen, warm myself up, take another cold shower afterwards. I feel pretty damn good now. Something that's interesting about this hotel though is we're up in the mountains, so you can see in the winter that this is a ski lodge, and these things are ski lifts, and then these cleared out areas are paths for ski runs. So I imagine this is pretty cool to sit here and you know, from some of the onsens, probably the women's onsen, you can probably look over the ski like resort. the way that it's justified on the building. So you could be like, you know, soaking in this giant onsen and watching people ski on the snow. That's pretty cool.
Today we went to an onsen. It was me and Emma. And at the onsen, you typically get naked and you have to go and take a shower, and then you get into a hot tub. And we realized that there was also a hot tub outside. So we're on the 7th floor, and you can go outside and look over the balcony, and there's me and Emma just standing there naked, looking out over the balcony, watching this dude fix some stuff down on the ground. He didn't see us, I don't think. If he did, I mean, good for him, but it was pretty good. I got to bathe outdoors today.
And check out Katie's coat. It's a banging coat. Too bad it's like $500 for one of these.
Very expensive coat.
So here's our little tent city, and everything is set up now, and over here you can see where the real tent city has shown up. And these are all like paying patrons that have come to this show for the evening, and they set up their tents, and then we'll see what happens. It's interesting. But apparently there's a lot of like light up things, like these like clear tent things that are in the water. They have lights that are built into them or something, so we'll see how those look at night. But it's pretty tranquil. It's a interesting little place. So these clouds have all rolled in and stuff, and this is kind of apparently just turned into like a Japanese rave, and it's got this really eerie feeling because of all the clouds and everything. So this has kind of just turned out to us hanging out in this teepee, having a barbecue. Teepee, like literally a teepee. And random intoxicated Japanese people just come in and just make a bunch of noise and talk to us in the limited English they have, and Emma talks back to them in Japanese, and it's just kind of bizarre, and I've been awake way too long to comprehend this properly at this point, so it's really kind of strange. Sometimes it just hits you that you're in Japan, you know, like what? What the hell is going on? Why is this happening? I know you can't see the band in the video very well, but they're incredible. It's just kind of like an instrumental band, and they're just incredible. They really get things going, like with the crowd. It's awesome. Okay, it's now like 8:21 in the morning, and because like we didn't have a tent with a floor that wasn't moldy, that was out of the range of the slamming bass that was going on last night, we all ended up just getting a hotel room, which was ridiculously expensive, but apparently Tommy's just gonna like have his company pay for it or something. So we all got a hotel room, and we slept in the hotel room last night. And I got my normal 7 or 8 hours, so I'm all right now. But by the time we went to bed, I mean, we'd been awake forever because of the night before we didn't sleep with the bug situation and da-da-da-da-da. So, but what's interesting is this is still happening. It's 8:20 in the morning. This started yesterday. The music started at 4. People arrived at 1. Like the actual festival. And it's 8:20 in the morning and it's still a thing. Like, so I'm gonna walk over here and see what the band is up to, and then I'm gonna go see what Sato-san is up to and see if he's still alive, because I don't think he's asleep in a hotel room. And yeah, really bizarre. But the weather, wow, the weather's stunning. And here, look at this. You can see the mountains and stuff. I mean, it's not like, you know, the most amazing thing I've ever seen, but you know what's awesome? See these trees? Fall is coming. That's so badass. Very excited. This is that teepee we were all hanging out in last night, and I guess Sato-san might have cleaned it or something, because it's not quite the complete explosion and disaster I expected it to be, because, you know, there were quite a few people crammed in here all night. Just an interesting tidbit about Japan. This just tells you something about how things are. This orange thing here is an iPad 2, and this is a cell phone and another expensive cell phone, like a smartphone, and then a camera. And they're just sitting here on this table, like unattended. And they're Sato's, this guy here. they are his devices, and he just leaves them there. And we're at a festival with like lots and lots of young people, and he knows he doesn't even think about it. He just leaves them there because he knows that they aren't going to get taken. It's just amazing. Can you imagine, like, in America you have to chain things down to tables and stuff if you don't want them to disappear, and you'd never leave an electronic out.
You gotta chain the pins down at the
Yeah, yeah.
We have to chain the pins down at the bank because they'll be gone.
Nobody here is stealing iPad 2s though. I mean, that thing could be like $800. Like, that's insanity.
But the bank pin's like 5 cents and I need it.
As the party dwindles down, this isn't the greatest example that I can come up with, because last night there were a lot more people, but there's a kind of a joke about how Japanese people never face each other when they dance. They all just face forward and like bop back and forth. And you can see this in most cases. It's absolutely true. But last night when there was like hundreds of people out here doing the same thing, just bouncing up and down, facing the stage, it was it was pretty funny to just see the stereotype in action. So we're at Costco, and look at this block of cheese. Like, to give you perspective, that's my hand. And the label on it says it's a smidge over about $1,200. So I don't really, I was gonna put it in the cart just to like make a joke for Katie, but I can't lift it. It's like so heavy I can't get it up. So yeah, there we are. That's a lot of cheese.
Okay, so today we had an interesting interaction. I went to the doctor about a month ago and got a prescription. I've been holding on to that prescription for a couple of weeks, basically because I'm lazy. And I took it to the pharmacist today, and all the people were staring at the prescription, like pointing at the date on it, trying to tell us something that was going on with it, but we couldn't understand anything that they were saying. So I called the lady that works for my company to help have her translate over the phone what was going on, and it turns out that you can only hold a prescription here for 4 days. You have to take it to the pharmacy before 4 days here in this country. I told them you can hold it for a year in America. They were stunned. So yeah, we're really lazy in America, I guess. Well, anyways, so there was this confusion, and the pharmacist, the actual pharmacist, told me that he'd walk me over to my doctor at the hospital, which is across the street. Not too difficult. So he walks me across the street to the doctor's area of the hospital, and then that doctor there walks around the hospital with me trying to figure out how we're going to fix all this. And it works out really well. They walked everywhere with us, got everything figured out. We didn't really have to do anything but just sit and be patient, and they were super nice, and some delicious food just came. So sorry, Mom, but Japan has ensured that I won't be having a baby for another 6 months. We are at one of Kumagaya's little drinking spots called Rebo. It's kind of like a Mexican-Italian joint with a little Japanese twist, but not too much Japanese to the point where the food loses its ability to be awesome. Not that Japanese food sucks, but they do things to other countries' foods that you shouldn't do to other countries' foods. Anyways, here they sell things called tapas. And the tapas are just small dishes of kind of appetizers. So maybe that's what that means. I'm not sure what that means. But today's tapas that we got are spicy chicken, which turned out to be chicken wings. And we also got some Parmigiano potatoes, which looks like just breaded potatoes with a little bit of marinara sauce, maybe?
Yeah, it smells like marinara sauce.
And 2 times I have ordered the Caesar salad, which is perfect. Usually when you order a salad, you get a little worried that either the dressing's going to be a little off because they Japanized it, or you're worried about the stuff that's inside of it. Is there going to be squid and octopus and stuff? But there's none of that. There's just delicious. Oh, it's really, really good. Like, tastes like I'm friends with Caesar. I don't know. It's really good. Anyways, we also got some beverages here that are like, I guess they're Italian drinks. I think that's what they are. Mine is a Dita and orange, and I don't know what that is. Some Dita, I'm assuming, is an alcohol, but it looks delicious. And the guy was right, it is sweet. And Eric got a raspberry soda. see, if you drink it, they can't see it. And it's basically just soda with like raspberry grenadine in it. Yeah, flavoring down at the bottom, and you mix it up. It's delicious. This is my favorite restaurant right now.
And a pasta dish just arrived. Here's an interesting note. This little card here that says table checkout. That little card is there because people here in Japan will always get up to pay at the register, and here they don't want you to do that. So if they want that, they have to specifically, point out pay at the table. Otherwise, everybody will stand up in a line. We're not in Kumagaya, but what you're seeing here is kind of common in like Tokyo and stuff. We're in a city called Omiya, which is sort of like closer to Tokyo suburb, and all the like kids, they come and they find these glass mirrors or glass windows where they can see themselves, and they like practice like dancing and stuff. And you see more of it than you'd expect, to be completely honest. And you can see there's even more kids over here doing the same thing. And I don't know, maybe you see that in cities in America, but it's definitely not something you'd see in Fredericksburg. Okay, so check this out. When you move into an apartment in Japan, there's no like ceiling lights like this. Like they do leave like the lights like underneath like the kitchen counter or whatever, like there's a light built into this. I mean, it's not like complete darkness, but like your bedroom doesn't have any light, like the living room doesn't have any light, the kitchen like ceiling doesn't have any light. So you have to buy new lights, which seems like you gotta buy lights and install them and stuff. That seems ridiculous. But they make the installation, like they've made this plug, let me show you. So you got the light, and then you've got this thing, you just pull this down, and then around on here, there's a little button, push it, and it releases. So they've made like a standardized plug, because like when you move out, I guess you just take your lights with you. And they've just made it really, really simple to just click them in. So I mean, on one hand, it was sort of annoying, like, what do you mean we gotta buy lights? Like, okay. But on the other hand, we got to buy lights that we wanted, and we weren't stuck with like some like gold fringed like fugly thing that somebody may have left behind. So I mean, whatever. I just thought the plug was kind of interesting. So this is a little field that's like directly behind our apartment, like as in I am standing literally on the porch. It's not really something you'd use as a porch, it's just where you hang your laundry, and that is inside the apartment. So like this is literally the field that's directly behind our place. And it's since we've moved here, the grass had grown really high, and this morning when we woke up, we woke up to the sound of these like huge lawnmowers, and these guys were cutting down the grass. I mean, the grass down there was probably 7 foot tall. It was huge, but it was like kind of thick, like not bamboo, but something that looked similar to it. So they cut all this down, and we were like, oh, okay. So they trimmed that every once in a while. That's nice, I guess. And then like a few hours go by, and all of a sudden this happens. And this is like a playground normally, but now it looks like they're setting up like a little festival or something. And there's like tents, and then there's like tables under here with like things under them, but I don't have any idea what it is. And this sign is not normally here, so I'm sure it says something about what's going on, but I'm also sure it's probably mostly in kanji, so it probably won't mean anything to us. So I don't know. It looks like maybe something will happen tonight, but maybe something will happen tomorrow. We're not really sure yet. So I guess we will see. Well, it's next morning, and we're actually headed to Tokyo today, so we're not going to actually get to experience the festival or whatever is going on here. But it looks like maybe it's like a festival for kids or something. Like I see they have like a bunch of like games over there set up or something, and they're making cotton candy over here. And yeah, I'm a little unclear on why, but I'm thinking maybe it's just like, once a year the neighborhood has this type of little get together or something. But yeah, I wish we got to see it, but we are headed to Tokyo, so it's just not going to happen. Oh well. I'm in a mall with a bunch of like old video games in an arcade, and look what I found. As in Street Fighter 1. Interesting. So this little store is called Lucky Box, and they have like rows and rows and rows of boxes, and Kyde is looking for one. You buy one, you don't know what's in it, but 300 yen for anything but gold. Golds are 1,000 yen, so we're just gonna go for a non-gold. But some of them have got like DSs and PSPs and like iPods inside of them. So it's like, you know, kind of like a gamble. You might get something awesome, but you might get something shit. This doesn't feel like there's anything in here.
But if you think about it, all the things that are going to be like nice things, they'll have to pad them. So that's
Not
padding.
really. Katie's gonna buy 300 yen worth of air. So in a moment we'll have one of these things and we'll open it and see what's what. Okay, so here's our little box. Katie picked this one based on what? Explain.
I picked it based on the fact that it doesn't rattle around, and it kind of feels somewhat.
You got a purse in here.
And
that's what I'm getting.
I
There's
can't
a purse.
push hard enough to break anything.
You got a purse. I bet it's a purse. Purse? Something.
Oh, something. It's not a purse.
Some sort of figure, a character. It's the weirdest looking iPod I ever saw.
It's new.
Some sort of character.
Okay.
Well, that's what we got.
Bust.
Here's a recipe for some authentic Japanese food. I saw this on TV a couple days ago, and they had this is just your standard McFlurry with Oreos in it, and this is just your standard apple pie, half of actually, and you just take the apple pie and put it into the ice cream, and now you squish it up a bit, and what you've got is a cobbler. And there you go. You can try that one at home anywhere in the world. Authentic Japanese cuisine. It's the middle of October, and we have made the 5 or 10 minute bike ride to the Kumagaya Sports Park to see a rugby game. And these are two university teams. In the red over here, we have the Red Dolphins, and in the green,
Dynabors.
the Dynabors. Literally, Dynabors. And they've got like their mascot. He's not on here. The mascot is like this like
crazy looking boar.
Yeah, this pig-looking dinosaur thing. It's really strange. So yeah, that's what we're up to, and it's pretty fun. And come on, narrate something.
We're still trying to figure out how rugby is played. Every 10 minutes we're like, oh, he's kicking it. Oh. So
is this football or wrestling or what other sport did you say? Soccer. Like they just picked this guy up, and then look at this. What's happening? That's madness. So this just happens for a while, and eventually the ball will probably pop out. And then somebody runs. There it goes.
Go, 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 go! Oh!
Yeah, so I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what just happened, but it was exciting.
It was.
Oh, Katie's really zoomed in.
Oh.
Say that again?
It was.
There we go. We saved it. This is a shot from our bedroom window, and you can see this empty lot that's over here. Let me zoom in. There used to be a house there, but they've spent the last week tearing it down and making it all flat and everything, and it's apparent that they're going to start building something there again relatively soon. So this morning there was like a bunch of like tents and stuff, or like one tent like set up with a bunch of chairs under it, like what you would expect for like a groundbreaking ceremony. And then later in the afternoon, somebody came to the door and they gave us a gift of a towel, because that's what they always give here for some reason, towels, like a big gifting thing. And they also put a schedule with it that shows when they're going to be building and when they're going to be finished, or what they're guessing. And we're kind of guessing that's what this says, but there's an address and a date, and it's got a construction guy, so we're pretty sure that's what this is. And so that's really bizarrely polite. Like they know they're going to be disrupting the neighborhood, but let's go around and give everybody free towels and the schedule on what's going on. Very, 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 very typically Japanese. That's what this feels like.
Welcome to Fujimi Chugako. This is a school that I've been teaching at for about 8 months. There are approximately 900 students. My morning commute is about 8 minutes, which is great, considering that sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's really cold, and in the summer, it's extremely hot. This is your typical Japanese school. It looks very outdated. This is our track and field. On days where it rains, this becomes a lake, and thus we call it the lake. One of my favorite things about our school is the amazing view of Kumagaya. Sorry that I have my hand in the shot, but the sun was blaring out everything. Our school is called Fujimi, which means that you're able to see Mount Fuji. If you look slightly left of this power line, you can see Mount Fuji. One thing I never realized about Japanese schools is that you have to change your shoes before you go inside. So every morning, Emma and I get to take off our shoes and put on our school shoes. It's exciting. So there's always a crowd of shoes just hanging around every entrance of the school. It's pretty strange. This map right here shows all the teachers in the teacher's room. And if you zoom in here, these show the ALTs. This is Emma, and this is Kasaren, which is me. So this notes where all the teachers are sitting, and let's go in and check it out. This is Emma, my coworker and partner in crime sometimes, because we get a little bit bored and sometimes we decorate. It's Christmas right now, so we've got the Christmas tree. And yes, Emma cut out some amazing snowflakes. Also this tree thing here as well. Quite impressive accordion tree.
And
oh yes,
a heart.
And Emma makes little hearts.
And you can put stuff in it.
What are you gonna put in there, Emma?
I don't know, candy?
You're gonna need to get like the smallest candy possible. Okay, and this is my desk. So I've got like a little slideshow going of pictures from my travels so that the kids can see them. That's my tower of stuff that keeps my day going properly. Ooh, this is cotton! This is my cactus who is going to get watered soon. I'm very excited about that. Sorry, cotton's like my favorite part of the day. This is the rest of the teacher's room. And notice that there's tons and tons of stuff in this room. Like if it isn't on the desks, it's in these bookcases back here. There's a lot of stuff in this room. But yeah, this is the room that I spend most of my time in at the school. Ooh, and we did get a flat screen. Like 2 months into us being here, they installed this bad baby. And thus far, we have watched a hurricane on it. And whenever there's like news of someone like shooting or cutting up somebody in Kumagaya, they turn the TV on and it's never on the news. They just put it on anything. It doesn't have to be about the news. They're just like, okay, someone got mugged, we're gonna watch soap operas. I don't know why, but yeah, that's a teacher's room. My school has over 50 teachers. That's a lot of people to get to know, but I did want to introduce everyone to the 5 teachers that I work with the closest. These would be the Japanese English teachers. First is Mr. Fujiwara. He is the Kyoto sensei at our school, which means he is the vice principal. I share one class with him in the 2nd grade. He's a little intimidating because I know he's my mega boss, but he's a really nice guy and very helpful. This is Miss Ishii. She's the head of the English department and has lived in Australia before, so she's very easy to talk with. Next is Miss Kataoka. She's been working at Fujimi for about 6 years. She's very funny and gets all of my jokes. We have a really good time in class. This is Mr. Hasegawa. Him and I are both starting out at our 1st year here at Fujimi, so we're both starting to get our feet wet with teaching. Last is Mr. Moro. He's okay with pretty much everything, even letting me run the class, which I never expected. One thing that I didn't expect about Japan and being at the school system is that there are squatters. You think in Japan that everything is super technological and that they aren't in the past in any means, but you are very surprised as you live in Japan to see how I guess, ancient some of the things are. We would never see these in the States, and I try not to use them ever because I really don't like squatters. This brings up a funny story about this door. The first few days that I was working here, I just thought the entire school was squatters. I did not understand what this kanji meant. I still don't know what this kanji means, but I tried the knob on the door, and it does not turn. So I thought, so it's locked. I guess it's just a storage area. To open this door, you pull, and that reveals the Western toilet, which I amazingly didn't find for 2 or 3 days. Good job, me. Every season, Emma and I create a bulletin board. This is our Christmas bulletin board. And what we started doing with this bulletin board this season was adding worksheets for the students to work on. They have a word find that they can do, and they also have a scavenger hunt that they can do where they go and ask all the teachers what they want for Christmas and write sentences about it. Thus far, we've had a lot of participation with the word find, and limited interest in the scavenger hunt, although the ones that are doing it are really having a good time with it. But thus far, it's gone really well, and our board looks amazing. Here you can see a student asking Emma about the scavenger hunt. Later, he asked me what I want for Christmas, and I told him I want a pig.
Excuse me.
Hello?
Hello. What do you want for Christmas?
I want a pig. Pig.
Ah,
This is a typical class at Fujimi. There are about 40 students per class, and I am always paired with a Japanese teacher in class. Here you can see my coworker, Mr. Hasegawa. At almost every class, we sing a song in English. Right now, since it's the Christmas season, we are singing John Lennon's Happy Christmas and the 12 Days of Christmas. After singing, we usually do a skit to kind of show the students what we're going to be talking about for the class. In this class, we're teaching whos, and we're showing the students pictures of items that are on the teachers' desks and asking them, whose blank is this?
Is this Nintendo DS yours?
No, it's not.
It's not mine.
I think it's Emma's Nintendo DS.
Emma's.
Since I haven't been in an American classroom in a very long time, it's a bit hard to compare. But it's strange to see so many things on the wall. The rooms feel a bit chaotic, and the students do not have lockers in the hallways. They have cubbies in the back room like you would at an elementary school. All of their stuff is in this room, and it is very crowded. My experience of teaching in the Japanese classroom, since I don't have much Japanese speaking experience, is kind of like being at camp, but you don't speak the same language as all the kids that are at the camp. So it's kind of strange. You try to find ways to relate with the students about things that they know or things that you can both see, and try and find ways to make them laugh and have a good time while you're in the classroom. Eric just told me that I need to do a voiceover on what kendo is. I have no idea what kendo is, but I'll tell you from what I see every day. It's a bunch of kids running around with sticks, screaming a lot. Our school does have a pool. There isn't very much activity going on in the pool most of the time. It's full almost all year round. It's December, and as you can see, the pool is full right now. It's also very, very green. From what I've seen, only the special education students get to use the pool for about 1 month during the summer. In America, the schools are heated by central heating. In Japan, they are not. Some of the rooms are heated, some of the rooms are not. The hallway in specific is not heated at all. This whole hallway is pretty much the same temperature as it is outside. Let's find out how cold that is. You're looking at about 10 to 11 Celsius. That's really cold. And lately I've been doing some speech testing in the hallway for the entire period, so 50 minutes of sitting in really, really cold temperatures sucks. They've finally put the heat on in the teacher's room, so it's nice and warm in there. And another thing that they've done in the classroom, and I hope that I can get footage of this, they have put heaters into the classrooms. And these heaters are, in America, we would consider these extremely dangerous. We would never put this in a room with anyone that was under 10. I guess these kids really aren't under 10, but I don't trust kids around hot things. So I'm pretty sure one of these kids is gonna get burnt. But that's what they shouldn't touch that thing. There are two heating elements here in the teacher's room, and it's this and that guy way over there. And they heat this room not immensely, and they don't have them on very often. Emma and I sit by this door, and the students come in and out and in and out, and it gets really chilly over here. So we got tired of having to stand up and come all the way over here to close this door, so I made an invention. Emma, you must demonstrate. Okay. So we open the door.
You have to show them.
You can
the
see
outside.
a string. This string goes up to this point, and the string is attached here. So when you pull the cord inside, it should close the door. So let's find out. Does it close the door? Perfect. Very nice demonstration. So that is our invention here at the school, and a lot of the teachers have thought it was pretty cool, so it's been pretty interesting. The second graders at school are currently doing a speaking test. The first part of the speaking test is that I teach the students how to work with hard things for Japanese people to pronounce, such as F, V, L, TH, and R. We go through that in class. Then I go out into the hallway and do one-on-one testing with all the students from the second grade. We sit in the hall in the freezing cold since there's no central heating in the school, and I ask the students what they studied yesterday. They explain a picture to me in English, and I ask them to pronounce a few words. This is your typical Japanese school lunch, and today is amazing. Oh God, I can't even explain how good it is. Today we have ramen soup with ramen noodles, and we also have a broccoli and cauliflower kind of mix. They're basically just steamed, and then they put mayonnaise on top of it. Yes, mayonnaise, it's Japan. And gyoza. Gyoza is delicious. I've had too much gyoza, but I'm actually excited about the gyoza for today. And it's not rare, but we don't get desserts most of the time. They come like maybe once or twice a week. Today we have a brownie. And you can't have a school lunch without gyunu. Milk. The milk here is not as good as in the States, but it's refreshing nonetheless. I'm very excited about this lunch. On afternoons where the weather is nice, Emma and I tend to sit on this bench in the sunshine after lunch and before cleaning. It's a pretty nice moment. Nobody's really out here, and we just get to relax, and it's kind of cozy. At American middle schools, the chorus is an extracurricular activity. At our school, every class has to go to chorus at least once or twice a week. They spend the majority of the beginning of the year learning their school song, and believe me, they are amazing at it. So 900 students having practiced a song for 3 months and getting perfect at it is wonderful to listen to. I have no idea what the song is about or how to sing it, but I really do enjoy listening to them. On this particular day, they are singing to start the chorus contest, which happens every year in Japanese middle schools. Each class will compete in their grade level to be the best singing class in the school. This day is a special day, where students are allowed to have their parents come and watch them at school, and I was actually allowed to have Eric come to school. This was the first time Eric had come to the school and got a chance to see the students and see my work environment. When you think about going to an American middle school to watch a band recital, you can almost feel the cringing happening. I was pretty worried when our band got up on stage, but they turned out to be amazing. I had heard them down the hall from where I sit at work, and they sound pretty good, but I didn't know that they were this good. During the chorus contest, I was very excited to see our special education class take the stage. I'm not sure exactly why they aren't singing, but they are quite impressive with their bells. I was stunned at how amazing this came out. At the end of the chorus competition, it was Emma and I's turn to take the stage. A few months prior, the teachers had given us lyrics to learn for a Japanese song, so I had to memorize the entire song and sing it in front of my 900 students. It was nerve-wracking. Needless to say, I was sweating quite a bit. I decided to shoot a video of the school as I walked through it during our cleaning time. The kids are a little amped up considering they just had lunch, and they've never really seen the presence of my camera before, so this is kind of a new thing for them and for me. We did get surrounded by a massive mob of students doing peace signs and just generally having a good time around us. Emma found it to be a little overwhelming. Here we go. Okay. Earlier in the video, you saw the students in their formal uniforms, which has a blazer, a button-up shirt. The girls wear skirts while the boys wear slacks. These uniforms that you're seeing are more of their gym uniforms, so they change into these and out of them during the day. Keep in mind, we don't have locker rooms, so the boys and girls change in front of each other in a weird way. They never get down to their bottom clothes. They're always wearing shorts and a t-shirt, but they do change in their classrooms together, and I find that a bit odd. One massively different thing from American middle schools to Japanese middle schools is that we do not have a janitorial staff. The students and the teachers clean the rooms. You can see in some of these videos that students are cleaning the floors, teachers are sweeping the floors, everyone is cleaning the school. While making this video, I realized something that I never had before. The heaters in the school are not filled by adults. They let 14-year-old students use flammable liquids in school. This would never happen in America. In the next interaction, you'll see me and Emma converse with some students. Usually our conversations just consist of, "Oh, hello, how are you?" But this one actually turned out very funny. It's one of my best student experiences thus far. What is your favorite sport?
Favorite sport and swim. Swimming.
Swimming. Oh, very good.
I don't eat mayonnaise.
You don't? Very good, very good. See you. They tend to say see you, not see ya, see you. I say this so much that it's gotten stuck in my everyday vocabulary. I talk to Eric, we part ways, and I say see you.
Okay, so this is a liquor of some sort, and I think it's ginger root that's inside, but I'm not really sure. And this is normally like the type of bottle, and this is actually the company that makes like little like cheap umeshus, so it usually has like a little plum in there. But I saw this and I was like, well, that's a little different looking, and yeah, let's open it up and see if it's awful or not. So excuse me while I open this. And then see how brutally bad it is or good it is. Umeshu is good though, so. Alright, so. Oh, it's a very strange smell. It smells like, it's like spicy, kind of. Yeah, I guess it is ginger. It must be. I don't know. It's quite odd. It's quite odd.
It's definitely a strange flavor. It tastes a little more like whiskey than wine, but not really strong. I don't know how to explain this. It's just bizarre.
How do you feel about this mystery drink?
I don't like it. It smells like lettuce. Woo. Almost lost the mystery drink. He's got some funky, heart-looking vegetable thing in there. I don't know what it is. It's gross looking.
Have a drink.
Evil.
Oh my god. Don't drink all.
Is that good? Now will you go to the store with me?
You gotta eat the thing.
I didn't say I was gonna eat the thing. Oh, I'm not eating that thing. That's terrible.